Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're looking into the story of Amit Goswami. He's a martial artist, and we're basing this on his own words from a YouTube video transcript.
Right, the title was something like How I Did This, wasn't it? In Hindi.
Exactly. And our goal here is really to understand his path. What drove him? What were the key moments?
And pull out some insights for listeners too, right? About passion, support.
Yes, definitely. What does it take to commit? The role of, say, family or mentors, and maybe surprisingly, what martial arts offers beyond just, well, fighting or competition.
It's interesting because his start was pretty casual.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, apparently he just sort of tagged along with a friend, no big plan.
But that changed fast.
Oh, absolutely. There was this pivotal moment he talks about his first competition, not even competing, just watching.
Oh, okay.
And seeing these skilled fighters, it just sparked something intense in him immediately.
So that was the trigger. And then this dedication kicks in, right? I read he'd show up hours early just to practice.
Yeah, and teaching himself. He mentions learning things like the round kick, butterfly kick, drop kick.
Just by watching others.
Just by observing, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. That level of drive and, well, self-teaching ability.
Wow. Okay. So that drive paid off quickly then.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
He won a silver medal, believe it or not, in his first national competition back in 2008.
First one. National level.
Yep, in Rohini. It was an open national, and apparently he got spotted by someone, Devendra Dutgaur, a Delhi secretary.
Ah, so he got noticed.
Right, and played for his personal department. It suggests, people saw that potential very early on.
That's a key point for listeners, maybe. Sometimes demonstrating passion just opens doors you don't expect.
Exactly. And he kept it up. Within about a year and a half, another silver, this time at the Delhi state level.
So incredible momentum right out of the gate, driven by just seeing it and wanting it.
Yeah, that initial spark plus a whole lot of self-directed effort.
Yeah.
What does that tell us, you think, about learning something new?
Well, it suggests you don't always need a formal structure, maybe. That internal drive, that observation. It can take you a long way. You just have to do it.
Right. Not wait to be taught, but actively seek it out. Experiment.
Okay, so then things shift a bit. There's this focus on getting a government job.
Yeah, that comes up explicitly. He saw a medal as a direct path to that stability.
Which is, a very practical motivation for a lot of athletes.
Absolutely. And it worked out for him. He was selected for the CRPF, the Central Reserve Police Force, in March 2017.
So martial arts quite literally became his career path.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he talks about training experiences there in Kashmir under Deputy Commandant Rajveer Sir. Sounds intense. But he also really highlights a period training with the ITBP team. That's the Indo-Tibetan Border Police.
Okay, and he mentioned specific people there, mentors.
Yeah, he gives shout-outs to Pradeep Baya, Lalit Paya, and his roommate, Narendra
Grewal.
Yeah.
Isn't he a multi-time Asian Games medalist?
That's the one. 3-time medalist. So imagine the value of training alongside someone like that.
Definitely.
And Amit emphasizes how supportive the ITBP was, even though he wasn't officially one of their recruits at that point. He was still technically a civilian training with them.
That is interesting. It speaks volumes about their setup, maybe.
Yeah,
Fostering talent, regardless of affiliation.
It really does. And again, for anyone listening, it points to finding those supportive communities, finding mentors. It can be crucial.
You need people who get it, who can guide you.
Totally.
And after that ITBP stint, he actually starts his own academy.
Yeah, back in Sant Nagar.
Yeah.
Seems like a natural next step, right? From athlete to teacher.
And then comes this, major life shift he describes.
Which part?
Going from, paying out of his own pocket for training, maybe struggling,
Yeah, right.
to suddenly getting a salary for doing what he loves, plus benefits, special diets, promotions, increments.
And only needing to train about 4 hours a day, he says.
It sounds like the dream, doesn't it? Turning that deep passion into a sustainable, supported career.
It really does. It shows it's possible. That thing you love might just be your livelihood waiting to happen, maybe in ways you don't expect.
Okay, let's pivot slightly. Family support. Always huge in these stories.
Crucial. And Amit is quite open about it. His mom, for instance, was worried.
About injuries, presumably.
Exactly. Very understandable parental concern, especially in martial arts.
But his dad.
His dad sounds like he was just rock solid. He calls him his hero.
Wow.
Took him to healers when he got hurt, always asking how things were going, constant encouragement. That kind of belief from a parent, it's immense.
Yeah, having that core person who just believes in you no matter what.
And then his brother chipped in, too. especially after Amit joined the CRPF. Bought him a motorbike, a Pulsar.
Oh, nice. Practical support.
Right, helping him manage his life, get around. And even his mom, despite her worries, helped with recovery using home remedies.
So it was really a team effort from the family, different kinds of support, all pulling for him.
Absolutely. Emotional, practical, the whole package.
Now, you mentioned injuries. That's unavoidable in martial arts, right?
Pretty much comes with the territory.
And Amit has this interesting perspective. He uses a phrase, "Karasaichis kalayan."
Injury is an ornament.
Yeah. What do you make of that? It's powerful.
It really reframes the whole experience, doesn't it? Instead of seeing injuries as, like, failures or roadblocks.
They're like badges of honor, crew fewer in the fight.
Kind of, yeah. Evidence of the work, the commitment. He lists quite a few: a broken leg in 2009,
Ouch.
a dislocated shoulder in 2018, which actually cost him a medal chance in a quarterfinal,
Oh, man, that's tough.
a recent ACL tear, ongoing issues like leg swelling. It shows the physical toll.
But his message is basically, don't let it stop you.
Exactly. Focus long term. It's about resilience, understanding that setbacks happen. They're part of the path, not the end of it.
So for us listening,
Yeah.
how do we apply that? Maybe reframe our own setbacks, big or small.
I think it encourages seeing obstacles differently, not as game over, but as, okay, this happened. How do I adapt? What can I learn? It's shifting from trying to avoid failure to accepting it as part of growth.
That injury as an ornament idea, it sticks with you.
It really does.
Okay, so beyond the physical, beyond the career,
Yeah.
martial arts changed him personally too, right?
Significantly, it seems. He talks about being disruptive in school.
A troublemaker.
Perhaps, yeah. But then he won third place in some competition, and suddenly the school principal is appreciating him.
Ah, that's quite a turnaround.
It shows how achieving something, getting that recognition, can sort of ripple outwards, change perceptions.
And he directly credits martial arts with instilling discipline. He used the word aitia, which means something like a vagrant, aimless.
Yeah, someone without direction. He felt it transformed him from that into someone disciplined. That's huge personal growth.
Plus, the obvious benefits. Physical strength, knowing how to defend yourself.
Right. Those are almost like side benefits to the deeper changes in character and discipline. It really speaks to the holistic impact, doesn't it?
Definitely. It's not just about kicking and punching. It's about focus, perseverance, things that help everywhere in life.
Well said.
So eventually, he moves into coaching, building a legacy. How did that start?
It sounds pretty organic. Like he'd be out working out in the morning with his dog, apparently.
Okay.
And started interacting with younger people, aspiring athletes who are also out there.
Ah, just sharing his knowledge naturally.
Seems like it. And it took off fast. His academy got something like 35 students in the first month.
Wow, that suggests he's a good teacher. People responded well.
Clearly. That first academy, started around 2014, was called D-Ward 9 Fight Academy, basically.
And now it's the Olympic Academy.
Right, a name that signals, high aspirations, aiming for the top.
And is it working? Are his students succeeding?
That's the real test, isn't it? And yes, he mentions students getting national and international recognition.
Fantastic.
And some even securing jobs in paramilitary forces, following a similar path to his own.
So he's really passing it on, creating opportunities for others through his own passion.
That's the legacy aspect, right? It's not just about his own achievements anymore. It's about the ripple effect, inspiring and enabling the next generation.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what are the big takeaways from this deep dive into Amit Goswami's journey?
Well, for me, it starts with that spark. Seeing something, getting inspired, but then backing it up with incredible self-discipline and dedication.
Right. That self-teaching aspect was remarkable. And the resilience, accepting injuries as ornaments.
Absolutely. And we can't forget the support system, family, mentors at ITBP, how crucial that network was.
Yeah, that unwavering belief from his dad, the practical help from his brother.
And it also highlights how a passion, something you love, can unexpectedly turn into a career, a stable path, plus the personal growth, the discipline gained.
It's a story of passion, definitely, but also persistence, support, and maybe seeing opportunity where others just see setbacks.
Well put. It shows how far dedication can take you, transforming not just your skills, but your whole life direction.
So here's something to think about for everyone listening. Reflect on a time maybe you saw someone doing something incredibly well, and it sparked something in you, a new interest, maybe a desire to try it yourself. How do you take that initial flicker and really nurture it, turn it into something lasting, like Emmett did? And maybe, just maybe,
Hmm.
could some of the challenges you face right now, the things that feel like roadblocks,
Could they actually be opportunities in disguise, like
yeah,
those ornaments of injury?
exactly, could they be chances for unexpected growth? Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thank you.